You never should have anybody you don't like. Never. Doesn't matter who they are. Never. Never have someone you don't like. Never have someone you despise. Never wish someone evil or failure or defeat. Because you stand in the place of God. See? And a lot of people don't know the minister of God actually stands in the place of God. He does. Do you remember the case of Moses? Moses had a sister and a brother. They were older than Moses, you remember? What were their names? The brother was called Aaron, and the sister. And one day, they challenged Moses. They were older. They were of the same parents. They challenged Moses. They said, are you the only one who speaks for God? We also have words from God. Like some pastors who have people in the congregation who get tired of hearing them every Sunday. They say, well, Pastor, must you always preach every week? Are there no other ministers of God in the congregation, or can't we invite other people? When I just got started, let me tell you something. I had some folks like that who were wondering, are you the only one just preaching? Every week, we listen to you Wednesday, we listen to you Sunday. Don't we invite some other people? So I listened to them. I came to church. And I said, I'm bringing you up. There's a difference between a father and a lecturer. All right? Paul said, though you have 10,000 instructors, lecturers, yet you have what? One father. You don't have many fathers. So I told him, I said, I have a place I'm taking you to. Well, the reason they said that wasn't just because they didn't like my preaching, but they were afraid that we may not really grow if we go on like this, and people are going to get fed up of listening to you. But I thought, no, they can't get fed up listening to me. Because I bring manna every day. Fresh manna. Yeah, never get stale. Hallelujah. But the mixed multitude, like, in the wilderness, they say, we're tired of manna. So they're always there, the mixed multitude. But then you see, I help them to understand what ministry is. Because I know there are ministries that say that they say we have to expose the congregation to different kinds of ministries. So they invite for this convention Apostle Johnson, Prophet Nathan, Evangelist Calypso. And so they bring them for this year. And then the next year, they go around the world and look for some others. And so at the end, they confuse their congregation because they were already confused. Now, is anything wrong in inviting others? No. No. It's nice fellowship. But you have to be strategic. You don't just do it because you think that... Listen, I started holding crusades. It was unusual because as I was holding crusades, the usual thing was you organize the crusade and you look for an American preacher and bring him to come preach. And so that American preacher comes And then you do all you arrange and introduce him, and then he preaches and he goes. So if you didn't bring the American preacher, you didn't get the crowd. That's the way it was. Well, if you couldn't get an American preacher, you went for the German. You know? But then, I didn't think that way. One time we had the stadium, and somebody said, who's coming? They said, it's Pastor Chris. They said, is it Pastor Chris? Are you not inviting anybody? And my folks said, no. Pastor's going to be preaching. Pastor Chris is going to be preaching. And I said, yeah. And so we advertised the program and said, with Pastor Chris. So it was clear. It wasn't going to be with Kenneth Hagin or Oral Roberts. Or, you know the names, all right? But you know what? The crowds came en masse. En masse. I preached the first day. You would have thought the next day they would say, this is the one. We made a mistake. No, the next day there were more. It is not by might. It is not by but. Yeah.